the winning country might have been France, man, because they continue to
Yeah.
add NBA caliber players into this pool. And you look at the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, Wembanyama was the lock there for them since the lottery ended. But then they also get Sidy Cissoko out of G League Ignite. What do you think about his game and what he could bring to that Spurs team?
Yeah, I love City, man. I broke down film with him this year for No Ceilings. He's got a great personality. Like he's gonna be one of those guys where all of his teammates just absolutely love him. He's big, like 6'6", 6'7", long wingspan and thick. So like he's young, he's gonna put on weight with that frame. He could really pass the ball. It really shows in transition. I think he was second in the G League in dunks this year. So when he attacks the rim, he is ready to throw it. He will put you on a poster. And it's funny, when I asked him about it, he kind of had this like childlike whimsical answer, like he just has fun and enjoys the game. He seems like a guy that Pop is going to love developing. I think, I don't think he's going to contribute next year. And he's probably going to spend more time in the G League, but definitely, an interesting guy to put around Victor and to help him maybe feel, comfortable as he, moves into San Antonio.
Well, what do you think fans should expect out of Wembanyama in his first year, man? What are you expecting in his first year?
I mean, CP, that the crazy thing is nobody knows what to expect from him in his first year. We've never seen anything like this. I don't want to sit and put a cap on what he might be able to do during this first year. I remember when I was a teenager and LeBron and Melo were, coming up, and I was Team Melo. And, I was kind of, hating on LeBron. And then he was that Kings game. And right away, he had like that breakaway dunk in the first quarter and had this monster first quarter. And I was like, oh, I guess this dude is legit, right? He's a little bit more legit than I was hoping for. And I think Wembanyama is going to come out of the gate and just be an absolute stud. I mean, step back three into a putback dunk, like, what we've never seen that before. What else can he do? What else is he going to do? You know what I mean? So, he's not perfect. He's still a developing shooter. The shot looks good. He makes those crazy one-legged threes. He takes a lot of tough ones, but he shot under 30% from, the second year in a row. I think that he's going to have to prove that he could play an NBA schedule. His schedule this year was once a week. So, he was able to rest and recover. He was banged up a lot more when he, last season before he was with the Mets, when he was with Asphalt and, they were playing a EuroLeague schedule with, real grown men in the second best league in the world. He got banged up a little bit more often. So for him, I just want to see him stay healthy. And, I'm sure the Spurs, they started the whole rest thing, so they're going to be cautious with that. But on the court, I think that we're going to see things that we've never seen before. And I hope they don't rush it. I was thinking, somebody asked me on the stream last night, like, should they go after Fred VanVleet? And I was like, I think they should just go with what they got. Like when the Cavs tried to rush the rebuild with LeBron, it backfired. When the Pelicans tried to rush the rebuild with Anthony Davis, kind of backfired. It looks like the Luka rebuild has backfired a little bit. Like, just let this thing build organically, and you'll know when the time is right. You have this dude for at least 7 years. Like, be patient with it.
Yeah, I do wonder who the vets will be that they'll put around him. Duncan had Robinson, and then Parker and Ginobili had Duncan, and Robinson was hanging around the team. They're gonna put Kawhi Leonard had all three of those guys for him, right? Tony Parker they said he still has a compound in San Antonio, so he's certainly gonna be a mentor. But I do wonder if there's a vet that they're gonna put out there to kind of shadow him and kind of be with him throughout the year to kind of just get him acclimated to the NBA and the rules of the game.
And I think they should do that. I think every young team should do that. I think it's a big issue with why Houston's been the dumpster fire that they've been, the last couple of years, regardless of how much talent they've had. So they should definitely do it. But don't let that putting vets there get in the way of building for the long term. Like, Fred VanVleet might help you make, a play-in, playoff run, but is that the best thing for your franchise when you could still get a good vet that's going to show him all of those things and maybe doesn't help contribute to immediate winning in the same way? But Victor's competitive. He's going to want to win.
Yeah.
I'm sure Pop wants to win. Who knows how much longer he wants to coach? Maybe for 20 years, given the circumstance. But just they got to be smart about it. And obviously, they've been one of the more successful organizations in the history of the league. So I would imagine they will be smart.
Pop trying to run another dynasty with Wemby. I can only imagine. But Corey, we had Rafael Barlow on last week, and for Victor Wembanyama, he thought that he'd probably be, not fully wrapped in plastic bubble wrap, but he thought that Wemby won't play as many games just because of his development, growth, still getting used to the NBA game, the amount of times that he played, like you said, once a week, just getting ready for an NBA schedule. Do you expect the same thing, or should we expect him to play as many games as possible, like north of 70?
No, I wouldn't expect that. I agree. Shout out Raphael. I think the Spurs, like, they know the investment that they have, and when it's time for him to up, the amount of games played, the amount of minutes played, that'll be when they're ready to compete for something real. Right now, like you said, it's about getting him acclimated. It's about keeping him healthy and, doing his body right. Because let's be honest here, this is not LeBron, who was 6'8", 250 coming out, and you could see like this dude's going to be durable, right? We don't know what the health situation going forward is going to be for Wembanyama. The history of 7'3" guys coming into the league is not good, so and we've never seen anybody like this who's going to have so much responsibility, whether it's underneath the hoop or out on the perimeter. Like, he's going to be everywhere. That's a lot of wear and tear to put on his body. Those knees, those feet, even KD, he's older now, but he's had those lower body injuries.
That fifth metatarsal. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's why when people ask me, who's the best, is he the best prospect ever? I think you gotta take that into consideration. Like, LeBron never got hurt, and it didn't look like that was ever a concern. So, that's why I don't think he's on that same level as LeBron, just because I do think there are worries about his body, and that's why I think the Spurs are going to be, a little bit more cautious with him in the amount of games that they play him this year.